dalam bidang functional and biological medicine with over 30 years of international experience in clinical immunology, neuroendocrinology, and stress medicine. He has served as a WHO and FAO expert on infectious endemic disease in tropical regions, including West Africa and Asia. Additionally, Prof. Mauss is currently the medical director of clinics specialized in functional medicine in Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. And he is specializing in nutritional medicine, naturopathic medicine, precision medicine, and Prof. Mauss focus in individualized health management, including medical diagnostic, environmental medicine, and biological medicine. He has authored numerous medical textbooks and international academic journals as a renowned authority on allergy, autoimmune disease, cancer prevention, and regenerative medicine. And Prof. Mauss holds 3 PhD degrees in medicine, biochemistry, psychology from prestigious university in Europe. And he is a professor and chief lecturer in health medicine management at several European universities, Switzerland, Slovakia, and Malta, and served as the Dean of Academic Training Program in Individual Health Management. Okay, Prof. Klaus Mauss, we would like to give you your time. I give you 1 hour, but sorry. I have to. You can share screen now, Prof. Because you are now a co-host.
Okay, I shared it already. Do you see my slide?
Okay, we see already.
Okay, thank you very much.
Maybe you can make a share screen so it will be full. We can see in a full.
I'll try my best.
Okay. We can see.
You can see?
Yes, we can see. But maybe better if you can make a share screen. Share screen is where I cannot see in your.
It's already full screen, Doc. So
Already
you can
full screen.
Okay,
Yeah,
sudah ya.
already full
Okay,
screen.
already. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Prof. Yeah.
So this is just a second. I will start very soon.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for your invitation. My topic is going to be new insights into individually tailored micronutrients. And my topic is longevity medicine at its best. And thank you very much for the invitation. I'm presenting the International Society for Applied Preventive Medicine in cooperation with the Swiss Foundation for Health and Environment. So this is my first view. Selamat pagi dari Pegunungan Swiss. Salam hangat untuk Jakarta, kata kelahiran saya, tempat saya dibesarkan. Hari ini saya mengundang Anda untuk berwisata ke
Gunung
Pegunungan
Alpen.
Swiss. Kita tidak akan menikmati pemandangan yang indah, tetapi juga belajar dengan artikulitas Swiss. Sekarang saya harus melanjutkan dalam bahasa Inggris agar lebih mudah dipahami. So this was my introduction into
Thank you, Prof.
my regards to all of you, and it's really fantastic to feel back home, although I'm readily sitting in the Swiss Alps now, and I would like to display some life secrets today to you. I enjoyed listening to the previous lectures already, very nice lectures. I really appreciate the depth of these lectures, so my regards to all previous lecturers. as I was referring to the fact that today I'm going to talk about new aspects of longevity, I would need to talk about energy. And energy is the power of life. And we actually need to have more energy in order to live good, healthy lives. So everybody, I think, knows that this energy comes from small little tiny organelles in our cells, which are called mitochondria. Mitochondrial health is directly linked to energy levels and overall functions of the whole body, while these functions contribute to aging and age-related disease. So pardon me today when I stick in a little bit into biochemistry, but this is essential to know in order to optimize your approach into longevity medicine. Longevity strategies focus on enhancing mitochondrial function through methods like exercise, supplements, and inducing the progress like mitophagy, which removes damaged mitochondria. So these mitochondria are actually small organelles
Prof,
that produce. Yes,
sorry, we cannot see your slide, please.
I try to fix that. You see them?
Yes, now yes.
Okay. Sorry for this introduction. So I was talking about mitochondria, right? And mitochondria are the powerhouse of our cells, and energy is that very essential for our health. And any anti-aging strategies, they need to really regard mitochondrial function. And this is actually a growing knowledge in science already. We had little publications on mitochondria in 2000, but this is really increasing nowadays. And we have some more insight into these really essential parts of longevity medicine. Like I was explaining before, we have small little organelles in almost all of our cells, and they are the guarantee for our life, for our health, because they produce energy. Energy is abbreviated with these three little letters ATP, adenosine triphosphate. And this is actually the currency of life. And to reach the proper target, the nutrients must trespass numerous membrane systems in order to reach the mitochondria. Mitochondria are the powerhouse of life, as we have explained. That's a biochemistry whole. And we will see that these mitochondria will need also micronutrients. I call them micronutrients as these nutrients have to pass through different layers, and only if they really reach into the mitochondria, they will be of beneficial help. So let me just refer to the variety of functions that are essential for cellular health. These mitochondria not only produce ATP, they really take care of calcium homeostasis. They take care of the redox potential. They also are under mitophagy. This is the exchange of new and old dysfunctional mitochondria. They care for apoptosis. They care for the oxygen reactions. They are really metabolically flexible and active. So everything that we know from chronic disease is really linked to mitochondrial dysfunction. Did you know how much ATP production our small little tiny mitochondria really produce? It's a lot. They may amount to 1,200 watts or about 29,000 watt hours per day. This is resembles if you run a microwave for 24 hours. This is about the same energy your mitochondria produce. or you can use an electric kettle that uses about 1,200 watts. This is all the same that your mitochondria really produce, a immense powerhouse with biochemistry in its background. So the energy ATP production in mitochondria is closely linked to a process along the membranes of mitochondria. As you see here, there are biochemical processes producing ATP, and we age more if we produce these free radicals, and if these free radicals in the mitochondria get lost. I mean, if they lose the mitochondria and trespass out into the cytosol, this is a signaling of death. This is a signaling of aging. So what we really need to do is we need to preserve the function of mitochondria, including the membranes. Otherwise, the ATP production will be lacking power. And another thing is, if we lose the free radicals within these mitochondria, this is causing inflammation. And I mean, most of you have heard this wording, which is called inflammaging. This is contributing to DNA damage, to aseptic inflammation, to oxidative stress, to immune stress, to autophagy, to all these things that we know, which makes our life difficult and which shortens our life expectancy. And it's in contrast to longevity medicine. So actually here, this is just a paper showing that mitochondrial dysfunction is regarded the basement of Alzheimer's disease. And there are others showing, and this is the new insight that we have, that oxidative stress is leading to mitochondrial dysfunction, neurodegenerative disease, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, all these diseases that we know from our clinical experience. And also, we know that SARS-CoV-2 has had a very strong impact on our mitochondria and has led to many dysfunctional clinical situations in our patients. So the mitochondrial membrane are composed of two lipid membranes, actually. These mitochondrial membranes are very sensitive to the exposition of free radicals which are produced in the intracellular compartment of the mitochondria here. And so there needs to be always a balancing of free radicals within the mitochondria. Otherwise, there will be a harm to the membranes, and this will lead to a leakage of your mitochondria. These tiny little mitochondrial organelles inside the cells are involved in releasing free radicals. This process is known as cellular respiration. So what these tiny little organelles really do is they take all the energy that we receive from food, from amino acids, from carbohydrates, and from fatty acids, and plus they need oxygen, and this is called the oxidative respiration. It's a source of biosynthetic precursors putting these things together, and at the end building ATP. And on the right side, you see how many biochemically spoken different assignments these mitochondria do really have. They even take care of cell death. So mitochondria are actually the main players of your longevity approach. They are not only, and this ATP built in mitochondria is supposed to build muscle contraction, is very important for biosynthetic reactions, for instance, in your liver, nerve conduction, nerve synthesis, and active transport. If you only think about calcium and magnesium exchange intracellular, this is all depending on ATP. Coupling of reactions, biochemically spoken, and CMP precursor production, all these really is life-saving and the effect of mitochondrial function. So what we can say is the energy that we eat, the energy that we derive from food, is produced into ATP, which is then a product for our metabolism. It's the basis for our metabolism. Yes, we can actually speak of ATP as the currency of life. So lack of ATP, lack of money, empty pockets of empty pockets of cellular metabolisms. So we need to really respect these mitochondrial functions and see to it that there's no harm to our mitochondria. Here's just another explanation of cellular respiration. The small mitochondria in the cells, as you see them here in the cytosol, there are two ways of respiration, actually. Actually, we have the oxidative phosphorylation, which takes place within the mitochondria, producing ATP, and we have the glycolysis in the cellular compartment. But actually, the difference is that mitochondria produce many, many more ATP molecules in contrast to the cytosol glycolysis. And it's only a bypass. If mitochondria do not function, glycolysis takes part and produces ATP, but the bad part of this is it produces also lactate. You see lactate up here, and lactate is kind of sour, and sour means it is not contributing to the effects of mitochondria. So, okay, this is only a second pathway, the glycolysis, and those with exhausted mitochondria, they are really feeding on this glycolysis system. But however, in regard to ATP harvest, we see that mitochondria are much more effective in their oxidative phosphorylation. They produce many more ATP molecules than only the glycolysis does. And so we would rather have the effects of mitochondrial oxidative phosphorylation to live good lives. You see here that this stage is rendering about 34 to 36 ATP molecules in contrast to only 2 ATP molecules from glucose within the glycolysis. So the pathogenesis of mitochondria is very important to understand. And we do have this term mitochondria deficiency, addressing the fact that mitochondria are not respiratory effective anymore. They lose their power and they lose the effectiveness of building ATP. And this all may contribute to the part that there will be inflammation and there will be also senescence. There will be in mitochondrial dysfunction producing ROS and reducing the power of their mitochondrial function will also contribute to telomere shortening, DNA damage, and this ends in senescence. So this was actually an increased risk for age-related fertility, disability, and disease. Mitochondrial dysfunction can be linked to an overeating of sugar and processed food. If we are living sedentary lifestyle, not really physically active, if we are under environmental toxins and radiation, because these heavy metals, for instance, they will sneak into the mitochondria, they will block enzymes, and this will lead to a dystrophic metabolism within these enzyme circles in the mitochondria. But there's another thing. If we are under stress, as was already referred in our previous lectures, if we are under stress, if we sleep without, if we don't sleep that well, if we have sleep deprivations, all these things will contribute to mitochondrial dysfunction. And also, if we are under hyperglycemic situations, this also may contribute to mitochondrial dysfunctions. Very important, we need to have nutrients that are balancing mitochondrial functions, and nutrient deficiency also contributes to a lack of mitochondria functions. Genetic dispositions, of course, even from our mothers, inherited from our mothers, may be playing a part in mitochondrial dysfunction. All this really is, of course, leading to aging, but also aging itself is a risk factor for mitochondrial dysfunction. And actually, the good news is that mitochondria may have a dysfunctional stage, but there is also a regenerative power for mitochondria. As dysfunctional mitochondria will be discharged and will be replaced by new functional mitochondria, which is called mitohormesis or mitohormesis. And actually, we are trying with our methods to increase this renewal of dysfunctional mitochondria. This is just showing you again that the damage of mitochondria leads to an extraction of DNA from the mitochondria, and these mitochondria DNA are really serving as signals for aging, for inflammation, and it's the beginning part of cancer, metabolic dysfunctions, diabetes, obesities. All these things are related to dysfunctional mitochondria. So once again, what is saving our mitochondria? It is antioxidants that really need to reach the mitochondria. It's not only helpful to swallow any antioxidants and think that they will trespass all these membranes, because these membranes are lipid layers, as I was explaining before, and they have to reach all these compartments. And if we have an overload with toxins, they will be deposited in these mitochondria as well, and these will lead to a leakage of membranes and of dysfunction in the enzyme circles. Lack of nutrients, fatty acids, ketone bodies will also result in mitochondrial dysfunction. So I think, once again, I'd just like to bring out the clinical importance of dysfunctional mitochondria. We see all these things like cancer, cardiomyopathy, fibromyalgia, Alzheimer's, muscular dystrophy, diabetes, autism, epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, name it. You can all link these things to dysfunctional mitochondria. And this again just shows you in this slide that ATP production, this is energy of life, is only produced by a side product of reactive oxygen species. And these reactive oxygen species need to be discarded or balanced. They need to be balanced by antioxidants. Otherwise, there will be a circle of overflowing antioxidants, and this lands into reactive redox situations where we do have a disbalancing of ROS, of reactive oxygen species, and a lack of glutathione, of other enzymes that are balancing our redox potential intracellular. And of course, as you see, this contributes to cell death. So these ROS, they have two effects. They will contribute to lipid peroxidation, and these free radicals may attack mitochondrial membranes and lead to leaky mitochondrial membranes, which actually means apoptosis. And they also will cause nitrosative stress blocking enzymes, which are involved in the production of ATP. And again, this leads to lack of energy. So the main term that we need to know is nitrosative stress, which is actually the stress of proteins in the mitochondria. And there are only a few really antioxidants that really solve this problem. Once again, they need to reach the mitochondria in itself, the circle of ROS production, the ATP production, which is intracellular, in the membranes even. And this is the target that we really are addressing with our nutrients that we would like to supply our mitochondria with. So this is a lot of biochemistry. I'm going to save this slide for you because it means that it's only to understand that the overproduction of free radicals is harmful to our mitochondria, and there's a circle of death, contributing to more frequent production of oxidative stress, which may also contribute to death of mitochondria. Now we are really looking into mitohormesis. Hormesis is the biochemical process with activation of energy production in the mitochondria and the simultaneous formation of ROS. So in this process, the mitohormesis, the cell's own defense system against oxygen radicals, is activated to keep the balance of ROS production and also, of course, of degradation. And the insufficient mitohormesis results in mitochondrial structural damage and DNA, for instance, proteins leakage, disposal of damaged mitochondria through mitophagy, through fusion and fission, as well as the new synthesis of mitochondria is really essential. Now, this was a lot of theory, and I beg your pardon for this biochemistry overload. But now I'm going to put this knowledge that we just gained into practical application. And this is what I call the key to longevity. Once again, if we talk about life quality, lifespan, health span, biochemically spoken, we need to really concentrate on the mitochondria. And this is why I would like to put a reference to micronutrients that feed your mitochondria well. And this is very important because, once again, mitochondria are the basis of life and energy production. Balancing mitochondria milieu means that we are respecting the ROS system. We're not overflowing them with antioxidants, but we need to supply a sufficient supply with antioxidants just to balance the free radicals which have been built through the process of energy production. Free radicals endanger mitochondrial function. However, they are necessary to build up energy, so we cannot overflood these mitochondria with antioxidants, just apply as many antioxidants as we can think. We need to balance this. And this is the thing that we have to take in mind, that these antioxidants that we supply need to have a certain bioavailability. Here, bioavailability really matters. We need to get the most and best from our supplements. By understanding and optimizing bioavailability, micronutrient supply can be developed to be more effective, safer, and more efficient to supplementation. So which are the criteria for the selection of nutritional ingredients in mitochondrial supplementation? We need to have an enhanced resorption. We need to avoid negative interactions. We need to improve synergisms in their compounds that we offer into the mitochondria. It is clear to understand that this is not a matter of singular antioxidants, like one compound antioxidant like vitamin C or selenium. It needs to be a powerful synergism of different compounds working together. So the constant supply of sufficient antioxidants save mitochondrial function, but we need to pick them from the right side. And I just give you an example of some very powerful mitonutrients here. There are coenzymes, CoQ10, L-carnitine is mentioned here, and zinc is one important factor. Selenium is a very important factor, of course. But here you see polyphenols like curcumin, quercetin, and resveratrol, very, very important as well. These are actually the most powerful antioxidants because they are more effective than any other cofactors like zinc and selenium. Antioxidants have a strength and balance the free radicals, to reduce the reductive state. But the question here is the bioavailability of these different compounds. And you see that the antioxidant stress is very high in the polyphenols of curcumin, resveratrol, and quercetin. But on the other hand, the bioavailability, which means the power to reach into mitochondria, is very slow and low on these polyphenols from curcumin and resveratrol. This leaves us with a problem because theoretically spoken, we can use these antioxidants, polyphenols, but how really to reach into the mitochondria? There's only limited absorption and utilization of polyphenols by the body because the food matrix, which they are embedded in, is one thing, then their own chemical properties counts. The interaction with digestive system and gut microbiota is very important. And most of these antioxidants are insoluble in water, and they have tight boundings to other food components. So once again, we do have a problem here in bringing our powerful antioxidants into the cellular milieu. And here's one more thing. We're talking about longevity medicine at its best. And here we need to introduce that we have to have an individualized precision medical approach because individuals require different amounts of various micronutrients based on factors like age, sex, health, and status. We cannot only apply any amount to everybody. It's not one size fits all. Here I'm introducing now to you a new concept from Switzerland. And it's the key, in my understanding, the key to optimizing your essential nutrients and supply your individually based and tailored micronutrient supply for your mitochondria and for your cellular system. It is called a hydrocell key, abbreviated with HCK. It's a colloidal system which serves as the biomatrix. It is offering all these ingredients that you really need, that your micronutrients are involved. And it is the concept that plant extracts and other active ingredients are compounded together in a way that they are soluble for your whole body. And this, of course, is manufactured under GMP certified conditions. There are more than 130 vitamins, trace elements, minerals, plant compounds, amino acids, everything that you really need. Other functional nutrients are available in a modular system. This system is free from colorants, preservatives, and gluten, halal, of course, as well. These compounds are in a special matrix, which is guaranteeing water-soluble fiber with high swelling capacity. It promotes intestinal peristalsis and microbiome-driven formation of short-chain fatty acids, such as butyrate and other prebiotic effects. So not only that these things are serving as a transport system for very precious antioxidants, but also they do have an effect on your colonal system, microbiotic system. Plus, they have positive effects on blood sugar, LDL cholesterol, and of course, also when you eat them, on satiety. So the biomatrix is very important. This is one very important part I would like to share with you. There is a solution to this biomatrix, and it's guar gum. It provides a colloidal state similar to that found in fruits and vegetables. So actually, all your vitamins that you would like to address to your patient, deliver to your patient, they are like coming from original fruits and vegetables and an optimal bioavailability. There's a slow release, about 4 to 6 hours through the gel formation. It is formatting an amorphous plant-based matrix, guar. It's not a power. It's not a power. This is very, very important to know. They are granules. And this is very highly similar to natural foods. There's a consistent absorption without over-absorption. This is very important. Again, there's no over-absorption because of this natural mechanism. There's an improved solubility, and these guar gum granules are rich in fiber. They have a high swelling capacity, and it's soluble in both cold and warm water. So you just add these granules into your daily drinks that you take. It forms, when you put these granules into the water, viscous solutions when combined with liquids. So you will have a gel. You will produce a gel, and it's soluble in both acid and alkaline substance, and it can be mixed with all types of foods as well if you don't want to put it into water. It has in itself a binding capacity which is approximately 8 to 10 times greater than that of wheat grain. And all micronutrients are bound into a uniform granule using the carrier substance here, which is guar gum granules. It's a patent, a Swiss patent. This micronutrient concentrates are free-flowing granules that begin to swell and to form colloidal systems as they come into contact with liquid. The intestinal carrier matrix ensures that the micronutrients are continuously delivered over 4 to 6 hours via colloidal film, which forms the biomatrix. Here, just to give you an idea how it looks like, these ingredients, all the vitamins that you personally select for your patients, individually tailored, of course, are manufactured in these granules. And this is very important to know that these granules, they consist of galactomananes. The molecule structure of guar contains about more than 60% of D-mannose and more than 30% of D-galactose. These ingredients in itself have some certain effect because they are even brain food, as you can call. And if you add them together, maybe into water, put them granules into water, they form a hydrocolloidal substance which is known guarine, which is mainly consisting of galactomanane. So don't interchange or don't compare this with other guar gum substances. This is a very special technique. You see, which is from my side very important, that the layer which is built here, a water shell even, between all these different ingredients, this safeguards this from interactive reactions. So mind you, if you have a compound putting, for instance, together arginine and L-lysine, this doesn't work because these two amino acids, they work together. They work in contrast. Or if you want to add in one compound, let's say zinc and iron, these two trace elements and elements, they will also contrast. You cannot put iron and zinc together as they have different effects and they will. But in this count, there is no interaction at all between all these ingredients because there's a water shelf between them. And so you can add them as you tailor them from your opinion individually to the needs of your patient. There are no antagonistic interactions within the matrix. Different micronutrients can be easily combined to harmless positive synergies. And this is a very, very, very important strategy and a mechanism in feeding your patients with the nutrients that you select. You need to make sure that they really reach into the body, that there are no interactions that really are helpful to also reach into the mitochondria. And another thing about this system is that in itself, it's permeable for biomembranes. It's serving into the cellular system, but you see here also, sorry, I'll just skip this. It is also a detoxifying system. So you do have a metabolic detoxifications with toxins from this system as well. So all combined arguments, they really lead to this new approach in micronutrient therapy. There is an effect of detoxification, as I was explaining before, but also it is delivering very essential substances. This is just a live view into the results of patients that they are detoxifying, and we have measured the heavy metals with them, all different things, and they are detoxifying these things after application. So once again, there's no negative interaction between the incompatible ingredients with the compound. It's pH neutral and it's non-ionic release mechanism. There's a water binding capacity very high, and it enables effective absorption of active ingredients. Absorption matters. Detoxification is very important. Plus, it has a prebiotic effect. So because of the metabolic effect on the microflora, it serves as a dietary fiber, and it is helpful in producing short-chain fatty acids. Fatty acids, you might know, are very important to support mitochondrial function, as these short-chain fatty acids are producing ketone bodies, and mitochondria are able to metabolize ketone bodies as well. The question here is now, what is the correct dosage? I was talking of individualized, tailored prescriptions, which you can offer your patients with this concept. And there's Paracelsus. I'm a member of Paracelsus Clinic as well. And it reads, the right dose differentiates a poison from a remedy. So I was referring to the fact that you can overdose your patients, but insufficient levels of your supplements will be ineffective as well. How can we get the right dosage, and how can this be determined for your personal requirements? So this system comes with a AI background, because you will be able to determine the individual need of your patient, and according to answers that you can get from a questionnaire, which will be supplied by the company, Hapart company, the Swiss company, which is holding the brand of this concept. They will offer you with a questionnaire, and also in future time, we will use blood analysis from a stick, from a small blood drop only, to read different parameters, preventive parameters, and all this information will reach into a software. It will be evaluated, and then it comes with the recommendation of your personalized HCK micronutrient mix. So you also will be able, of course, if you have a good knowledge, to modify these prescriptions on a personal basis, but it offers you a simple approach to get the individual need for your patient. If you would like to change the supplement concentrations, you're free and happy to do that, but you will also get a recipe with everything, including what you can think of in this granules, and it's just one offer for everything, and it's the best offer you can get for your patients. So this is just a part of the questionnaire. There are many questions, and it will be worked on. Will we be improving this questionnaire points, and I think this is a good way to analyze the personal needs, and to get to the point that we do individualized, tailored prescriptions for our patients. There's a new software available, which is called Fast2, which we will offer to all those who are interested. And it's in English, of course, so we can work with that readily. So this just gives you an idea of how many compounds are really in there. everything that you can really think of is in this compounding available, and it's of pharmaceutical quality. I need to stress that again. It's not only cheap quality, it's the best you can get, and it's guaranteed. And there's research done for the quality and the purity of these ingredients. This is just the different levels that you can use with all different compounds. And here's just a slide showing you that the prescriptions that will be done perfectly with the help of AI. Everybody is working with AI today. So we're also very happy to announce that this tool is now available for individualized personal approach using all the data that you get from your patient. And the result will be that you will gain a personalized prescription recipe. And if you just click on, OK, I'm accepting that this will be good for the for building up this recipe. So I'm ending now, and this small little video gives you a summary of my
Be healthy, productive, and full
lecture.
of energy, it is important to cover your personal micronutrient requirements on a daily basis. There are countless standard products on the market. This makes it difficult to find your way around and select the right products in the right combination for you. What is important and how does HCK differ from the conventional range? HCK is a preparation that is individually tailored to personal needs, as individual as the fingerprint. Needs are determined by questionnaires and analyses. From this, the patented HCK modular system is used to create a customized formula for more than 110 different micronutrients, all in one spoon. One spoon contains everything. HCK consists of micronutrients that are incorporated into a purely plant-based biomatrix. As soon as the granules come into contact with liquid, they swell and form a gel-like system. This delays the release of the active ingredients over a large area. The resulting colloidal film is important for the optimal bioavailability of the micronutrient and comes closest to that of fruit and vegetables. HCK also provides valuable dietary fiber. Desired interactions are strengthened, undesired ones excluded. HCK granules are the optimal dosage form for individualized nutritional supplement. For 30 years, HCK has stood for tested Swiss quality. HCK contains no colorants, flavorings, or preservatives, is sugar-free and gluten and lactose-free. Consult a specialist for advice.
Okay, so I end up my lecture today here. I hope I contributed with some more information about individualized, tailored precision medicine. We need to really look into the needs of our patients. We do have, of course, methods at hand to support their endeavor in longevity. This is good health, is coming from good sleep, relaxation, from food that we eat, and the power from physical activity. But if we would like to add some little bit more into their health, we need to regard their energy building system, which is mitochondria. And these tiny little organelles are susceptible to antioxidants because they need to be balancing the redox potential, which is built in the course of building ATP. Thank you very much, and I'm open now for questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Klaus Mauss, for the very nice presentation.